Okay, so the stunt genes are down there somewhere still. What I'm going to do now, this is the tree. These are the trees I did my auto flight with, and wanted to be higher them from taking off in the garden here. So this time I'm going to fly out manually using the PIX4D Capture, uh, whatever mode, sort of move along 5, take an image, move up or down 5 meters, take an image, manual mode or whatever that's called. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to fly low over here, what I would perceive to be the right sort of height to do such a thing. So I'm just guessing, and then I've also going to make some assumptions that I've been thinking about overnight. That's if you ever come to South Africa, that's Giant's Castle up there, Giant's Castle. So yeah, I'm going to make some assumptions, and then I'm going to get some grown-ups to help me. Because in my head, I tell you what's instantly in my head is that we map a large area. You arrive at scene with 6 Mini 2s. First of all, you map a large area at a fairly low resolution, start it getting going, so you've got a really good base map. And then you start flying around manually, down rivers, down paths, down whatever, gathering extra imagery. Just making some crashing assumptions. As I say, let me develop that a little bit, add that to this video, see what these photos do after I've flown, add it all into this, and then ask some grown-ups what I should have done. Okay, so here is the aftermath of that flight. A quick recap. What are we doing? We are flying straight out from my takeoff point, which is about 20 meters above the stunt greens. The reason we're doing that is because the first flights I flew standard grid missions in order to avoid the trees that are at my launch site, as it were, and that probably put me in the region of 50 to 60 meters above the stunt trousers. Stunt trousers on the left for reference. So now I'm going to fly out, and I'm using the mode in the PIX4D Capture app that is move along a certain distance, take an image, or go up or down a certain distance and take an image. In this case, it's every 5 meters. So obviously that's me just taking off, and this is what you end up with. This is the raw images. So I've put this through the software again. And perhaps what's more, maybe what I should do is change it now to target. So it's that was lucky. So so it's had a look, it's analysed it, and Gene told me via email if I just tap Z, it will zoom instantly into the area of interest. So we can see in this case that's what we want there. Z, no, that wasn't, but that's interesting, isn't it? That little bit of whatever that is came up with some of the colour profile. I know there's another more advanced way of doing this, but so far I have changed nothing from the last video. All I have done is flown on a day when there is full sun over the obvious target area, and you can still see that poo to the right of the jeans, but you can see that the wind has blown my leg, the left leg, off to one side. So let's go to another. There we are. Is it that? Is it that? No, it's that. Go to another image, but well, we can see it's that, isn't it? And we have to remember to be very conscious that it's not looking for a pair of jeans. It's looking for colours that aren't normally in nature. And there it is, obvious again, and it was that one of the two. I think I'd be very interested to know why that. Perhaps this other method will do better, but look, that's very obviously it. So I think my stunt trousers have done their job. In fact, I know they've done their job because I went down and picked them up. This is not compelling anymore as to what now look, let's flag that one up. Oh no, this is targets ones, and so once you've gone through them, so these are images with loads of targets, and these are plainly not our ones of interest. Look, so what you can do is you can then flag when images have what you want or what you think you want in them, you can flag them so you can narrow them down again. So I did that earlier. So we go down to this. So now there are, of those 104 images or 100 plus images or whatever there were 5 that I flagged, and the 5 that I flagged, and let's go through the zoom thing here, there we are, the 5 that I flagged have our, pretty much have our targeting every time. So, you know, oh, I'm at the last one of this sequence. So, colour me impressed, I think, is the bottom line. I am impressed with this part so far. I need to learn a lot more. So from here, where do we go? I'm going to go to my concepts of nonsense, CONOPs, that's what they all say, concepts of nonsense, be mine, or something like that, as to how I think it would work if we had 6 DJI Mini 2s. What would we do? We turned up. All very well having this software, as cool and groovy as it looks. We still need to have a plan. We can't just turn up and stuff images into this willy-nilly. Okay, time to pad out the suppositions and bits that I would like experts to shoot me down for as to why this is not a good way of thinking about how to run an operation, if called CONOPs, as they love saying. So the first thing I know needs addressing is dissemination of information and everybody. So let's assume, first of all, we're in a world with smartphones with internet coverage. Volunteers turn up. How are we going to give them information they need? We could ask them to download an app, but that starts getting complicated because then they've got to learn how to use the app. Now, something I've used before is a thing called uMap, umap.openstreetmap.fr. That allows you to annotate or put layers on top of OpenStreetMaps, and that's all it is there. And once you've done that, you just share the URL. I'll probably, if I remember, I'll put it in the comments below. So that, I think, is my first choice for such a thing, is uMap. So now we've got information into people's pockets. We're going to have to make sure somebody is at home with a good internet connection and communications with whoever's on the ground to update this. And that's important for many, many reasons. You should have somebody, I think, personally, stood back, sat back looking at the big picture. So that's supposition or method number 1, getting information out there, use uMap. And then, right, so at that thing I was at, there were 7 aircraft. We probably could have used them in a more methodical manner to start with. So let's so we've got 6 Mini 2s. I think it's 31 minutes is the published flight time for those. Well, we know that that's got to be taken with a pinch of salt. It's probably more like 25. So let's make sure they fly for 20, and that makes the maths easier now. Anyway, and let's say in that 20 minutes, each one of them maps 500 square meters. So every 20 minutes, they would be mapping 3 square kilometers, and that would be the equivalent of a single platform flying for 2 hours. That's equivalent to 2 hours of flight time for a single platform. So every time they come back, then we've got 3 kilometers square of data, and we'd just be very basic in our thinking about how we'd fill out that square. So once we've done that, then so if they've flown 4 times, that would have taken them in the real world 1 hour and 20 minutes to do that, plus battery turning around time. So let's call that 2 hours. And that would be the same as a single platform flying for 8 hours. Is another way of looking at that. And then so each time it comes back and the 3 kilometer group is sorted out, then we'd run that through Loc8, and obviously at the end we'd need a single flight to sort out that other little 500 square meters. So the other 5 Mini 2s, once someone's doing that, could then be tasked to do whatever they'd be able to task to do. And once you've got that entire area, then you run all of that through PIX4D to make a better photo-based map of the reality that could be distributed then to the people on the ground searching. Again, got to fill in that little piece, but you've got 12.5 kilometers squared maps. So that's 2.5 by 2.5 squared. You're going to need somebody at the site with a laptop doing this processing on Loc8 and PIX4D. So you've got somebody at home, you've got somebody at a laptop, and you're going to need 6 people to operate those minis or whatever the machine is that's coming along. So that's a total of 8 people already working to get this going. So that's a sort of a big picture thinking, probably completely wrong. I'm going to ask some grown-ups how they would do this now, but why am I even thinking about this? I'm thinking, well, I'll tell you why I'm thinking about this, because if I'm asked to do this again, I want to turn up with a plan rather than no plan, and a poor plan is better than no plan at all. So I'm going to ask a grown-up, we'll see what happens. Put some comments down below, tell me where I'm going wrong, tell me where my thinking is wrong. I look forward to being shouted at. Look after yourselves, wear a mask, wash your hands, stay away from other people. Be very careful going into this festive season. We all want to have another one. Don't forget you can join us at 2100 GMT for our normal chat of nonsense every Tuesday, and roughly every lunchtime some news updates. Look after yourselves. We'll speak again soon.